I was at peace, finally. In my very long life, I've been banished, stripped of my arcane abilities, I've been betrayed and imprisoned by my closest friend, and stripped yet again of my regained power. My former apprentice freed me from the Mage Council using an ingenious exchange spell. He teleported me across the galaxy to some sort of peaceful botanical land that he built for me, floating gently over a void. I lived there for centuries, using Bob's strange plants to sustain my life, taking solace in that the Mage Council surely is dead from old age. My anger and hatred died slowly, but was finally replaced with a calm tranquility. Until he knocked at my door. Who are you? Well, it has been a long time coming. There is a huge, massive, epic story that I need to tell you, but before we get started, I want to mention the other videos that will fill in the blanks. I aim to make this video the grand finale of Phase 1 of the unified FIXXIVERSE story. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about here, I suggest you go check out the playlist Lore of Dohan, all my 100 days videos because they are all set in the same universe, and then finally, if you're very confused, that means you probably haven't watched the 1 year of Minecraft series, which is only 9 episodes and tells the complete story of the world of Dohan. Okay, I'm going to link all that stuff right here. Alright then, all those videos will be up till the end of time. It is YouTube after all. Let's get into the story. Hey everybody, it's me, Fix. Before we get into the video, I forgot to ask you, hit the subscribe button because, listen, I have a couple new series coming to the channel with some content creators that I guarantee you know and love. It's going to be super fun, as well as my very own hardcore single-player world where I'm going to be doing 1,000-day videos. You're going to love it so much. So hit the subscribe button. I promise you won't regret it. And if you do, you can unsubscribe anytime you want. Okay, thanks. Okay, let's get on with the video. I awoke from my spell in the strangest place. Seemed almost like a jail, but different this time. I had no sense of being placed here as I did when I was first imprisoned. This was more abandoned. I felt alone here, as I've been for the past hundreds of years. True, I could feel Captain Dohan suspended in my void. My void is sort of a cell or a prison within my psyche. Using just a small portion of my own life essence, I can keep him there indefinitely. Looking around this place, there was nothing there but a book and a cage-like machine. Machines. I'm no fan of the mechanical, but still, it seems like none of my arcane abilities came with me. At least this time I knew to expect that. Arcane talents seemed to be world-specific, and this time I would be ready to start from scratch. I learned quickly by hitting the stone with my hands I could get cobblestone, and from that, by throwing the cobblestone on the ground, for some reason this world converts that cobblestone into wood, so I had the basics of getting some tools started. What's even more amazing about this world is after I made a pickaxe, I learned that while I'm mining the stone, I was getting random ores to drop as well. I didn't see them in the walls, they must be embedded somehow in the stone, but I was getting plenty of ores just by expanding my little room. It didn't take very long until I got enough coal to actually start to burn some of these ores and smelt them into usable ingots. This might be a livable situation after all. After I mined all night, I spent some time reading this book that I found here. It has sort of instructions on how to live in this place. I don't know who placed the book here or why, but I'm going to use it. The first instructions in the book say to make a windmill. I am stuck in a cave underground. This is ridiculous. But that being said, I have no other real answers, so cave windmill? All right. It's very confusing, but I have to make cogs and turntables and yeah, I hate machines. And finally, after endless trial and error, I have effectively created a windless windmill underground. Apparently, there must be some sort of slight gust coming down here from somewhere. Regardless, it does work. Now to figure out this confounded crafting mechanism. Before I can do much more, I need andesite. It seems the only way to do that is just mine, so, well, here I go. One of the most powerful beings in the entire universe, stripped yet again of my amazing powers, and I'm hitting a stone wall with a stone pickaxe. This is humiliating. I finally got this mega crafting to work, and now, with a fully functional giant machine, I can actually make gravel. Yeah, gravel. I will admit, as much as I hate machines, that one looks pretty cool whenever it's fully functional. Regardless, back to digging, I need a lot more cobblestone and a lot more andesite. I need to start some sort of smeltery for something soon. To get that, I need clay. It seems like the most likely way to make clay in this confounded underground hole is to crush gravel, and to do that, I need a lot of cobble. And so, yeah. A lot of mining today, but I'm getting a little bit nervous about food. It's been 6 days and I haven't eaten yet. Yeah, I'm getting pretty hungry. I've been eating a little bit of zombie flesh just to tide me over, but it's not great. I think 7 days is more than enough time. It's time to make a blood altar. I'm going to put this right beside this zombie spawner and build my altar sort of under and around it. My thinking is once I get this thing full, I don't really want to move it, and I don't think I can move the spawner. Yeah, this should be an easy way to quickly start to gain back some of my arcane power. It's funny, this is the actual thing that got me in trouble in the first place. I guess everything comes full circle. I learned something today about my stupid machine. First, it can actually break down coal ore into a lot more coal than one, so that's good. Secondly, I can even break down iron into about 1.5 iron chunks per ore, so it's not exactly ore doubling, but I'm getting more, so that's also good. But most importantly, by putting granite into my blood altar, I can actually make dirt, and with that, I can actually plant some food. I got a couple potatoes from zombies and planted those immediately. I cannot wait to eat. Before calling it a night on day 8, I was able to make my first blood orb. Oh, yes. I know it's just a weak blood orb, but to me, this is everything. This truly begins my journey into the dark arts. I made an alchemy table today too. This is great. I can use this to double certain things and just create other things from simply a little bit of blood. Solid work. You know, I really need more room. I need more ores. I need more andesite. I need more cobblestone. I need more of everything, and I am kind of over mining by hand, but I don't have a better solution as of right now. So, yeah, I spent another day just carving out more room for this stupid big machine I have. I need water in a bad way, and the only way I can see to get that is from cactus. Now, I can get organics, luckily, from throwing zombie flesh on the ground. I've learned that whatever transforms stone into ores actually will transform zombie flesh into random organic items. That's good. So I have a chance. So I can put my cactus in this machine called a mixer, and that should break it down into water. So I got a couple cactus and planted them, and now I just need them to grow because I don't want to use all the cactus that I have for this. So yeah, a little bit more mining today, and then we should be ready to craft later. The mixer is a two-part thing. You need the actual mixer part, and then you need the, well, cauldron or pot or whatever to actually hold it. So The hardest part of this whole thing is getting this gear to spin the right direction to actually make it work. And after a lot, and I mean a lot of trial and error, I finally got this ready. But believe it or not, I had to dig out more room. So I dug out a couple more layers. I'm kind of over digging. My plan worked. The mixer actually did break down cactus and gave me some water. But more importantly today, I was able to make a small smeltery. Look, I figure if I'm going to be digging out walls every freaking day of the rest of my life, it feels like, at least I could use an iron pickaxe. So that's what I went about making today. Now that I have a couple buckets of water, I am able to use my weak blood orb, some sugar, and I can make something called a water sigil. Yes, I remember this from my days as a young blood mage. This is amazing. I can actually put water anywhere I want with this amazing device. After getting my water, now a lot of options are open to me. One of the things I really need is a lot of sugarcane for an upcoming project, and so to do that, well, I need to build a little bit of a sugarcane hallway. Yeah, eventually I'm going to be able to automate all this, but for right now, I don't mind a little bit of a manual thing. I just will, just dig out a hole. Today was so solid. By using my alchemy table, a little bit of blown meal, and some dirt, I was actually able to make a block of grass. I don't need it now, but eventually it's going to be nice to have some greenery in here. Maybe I can even possibly get some mobs to come in. It's a little dark down here in my cave, kind of like my soul. Also, I spent some time working up a tier 2 altar. I need 8 blank runes, which are simple enough to craft. I think I'll keep my altar basically right where it is right now. I just need 4 simple runes and 4 tier 2 runes. Not a big deal. Now that I have a tier 2 altar, I would actually like to upgrade it a little bit more and take my blank runes and make 4 speed runes and 4 runes of sacrifice. They should both help it refill a little bit faster. I did try to make an apprentice blood orb, but I ran out of blood and the craft actually failed. After taking some time at the spawner to fill it back up, I successfully made one. It was good to have even the beginning of some actual real power. We're moving in the right direction. I upgraded my pickaxe with 2 levels of redstone for speed and started digging out yet another room. I actually just really need stone more than anything. To upgrade my blood altar to a tier 3, it's going to require 20 more runes, and to get that, I need 40 reinforced slates, so that's 40 stone. Yeah, time to start digging. And with all my stone, I started the process of making my 40 reinforced slates. You know, this is such a mind-numbing process. My eyes just sort of glazed over, and I started thinking back to how I got here. You need to understand how strange it was to have another human being on my planet. It had been hundreds of years. Mostly, I had spent the day's quiet study of these plants and their amazing properties, enjoying my solitude. This Captain Dohan explained something about a singularity, a science experiment gone wrong that had somehow populated the entire universe. I've never had any time for science myself. If a so-called scientist got even a small taste of my powers, I assure you, it would never glance at one of their machines again. Finally, he said something that interested me. Some sort of an armada, traveling through space, was destroying planet after planet. In the past, I probably would have been delighted to hear that, but over the hundreds of years, something had changed me yet again. Spending these centuries in Bob's botanical gardens had sort of instilled some sort of belief in me that life, indeed, is precious. If something was wiping out all life in the universe, well, maybe I had been at peace for long enough. think I'm nearly strong enough to do an actual ritual. There's one in particular ritual that I need to start with. It's called Serenade of the Nether. This should allow me to create lava for just the cost of a small bit of blood. The zombie spawner continues to get faster as I upgrade it by adding sugar, and hopefully it will keep up with my increasing demands for more power. More power. Yes. The next thing I need is a tier 3 blood orb, and to get that, it is a 25,000 payment. That's a lot. My altar appears to only hold about 10,000. I can add runes of capacity, but they don't seem to add as much as I'd like. I'm not really sure what to do next. I had my altar about halfway full and tried to craft this, and apparently I did not have enough. Even with my 5 blood runes of capacity, I only have 20,000, still 5,000 shy. So, yeah, I gotta regrind this up, unfortunately. It doesn't take that long, but it's basically a wasted day. And finally, this time I waited until my blood archer was completely full and I had a stockpile of a lot of zombies just waiting to be killed, and I crafted up my tier 3 blood orb, no problem this time. Hallelujah. I realized something very silly that I should have realized a long time ago. I can use my alchemy table to make clay from just my water sigil and 2 sand. No more endless crafting gravel and chewing it up in just hopes of getting a clay ball. This is a huge win. After just a little bit more zombie grind, I dropped a smeltery melter into my blood altar and got a weak activation crystal. Now I can take my 4 ritual stones and my master ritual stone and create the Serenade of the Nether. Next, I need some obsidian, and to get that, I can just drop buckets of lava on the ground and use my water sigil to make some obsidian, and boom! I am about ready to go to the Nether. But yeah, before I go to the Nether, I need to be fully prepared. I have access to a little bit of food, but I've been really walking a tightrope, honestly. In trying to progress, I've not been spending any time farming, and that needs to change. I'm going to use some of my precious bone meal to finish off and plant all the potatoes I can, which should at least keep me fed when I go to the Nether. I made a cobblestone generator today. I know, I'm completely surrounded by stone, but I really just want cobblestone, so I'm hoping that I can make it and then smash it into gravel. I want to work on a smeltery, but to do that, gravel still is kind of my holdup. Unfortunately, after making it, I was disappointed to see that breaking cobble also gets you any of the variants of stone, which is not really ideal for getting more gravel. I may need to actually make a machine at some point. It's a bit disappointing for sure. It took me nearly a month, but I finally made a smeltery. I had to make a little bit of copper to make a few of the pieces I need, and luckily I have lots of it. Ore doubling, finally. I'm going to need some way to automate this. I did think about the way that Bob automated his stone generator back in my Garden of Glass world, but I don't know if that's going to work here. I need to investigate how to make an hourglass. I tried it, and sure enough, my attempt was less than successful. Apparently, my old apprentice Bob had learned some new tricks since his time studying with me because, yeah, the hourglass that I tried, it didn't do anything. Eventually, after much tinkering with redstone, I did find a machine that works. This thing spins around, and every time it goes towards the smeltery, it activates the redstone and will pull out an ingot. So, yeah, it's not super efficient, but it works. Now that I have my ore doubling completely automated, I need a tinker's anvil, and then I need to make a hammer. I am totally over digging out these rooms with a single pickaxe. At least a hammer can let me clear a 3x3 space. Apparently there are only some metals that you can use, and one of it is brass to make this tinker's anvil, so I needed to figure out how to make brass and then smelt up 3 blocks of it. After that, it was rather quick work to actually make the hammer. I slapped on a diamond for the extra durability and some redstone for some extra speed, and yeah, I am ready to go to town. I made a fan today. Apparently this thing is supposed to be able to blow hot air through lava, but honestly, after an entire day of working it out, I could not figure out how to do it. So I will stick with my smeltery for doubling ores and be very happy about it. Look at this press. Look how slow that thing is. Technology, man. If I'm being honest though, I am beginning to grow a little bit frustrated with the state of my underground lair. I don't plan on being here forever, but the state that it's in is absolutely terrible. It's just a hole. It's just a hole with walls and a few machines scattered around. I need to move some stuff to a different room and free up some space. I spent basically a day working at the logistics of where stuff will be and moving my big dumb windmill. I need quartz to progress, and so it's time. I went to the nether, and this was about the fastest nether trip ever. I went in so speedy, grabbed quartz, and ran out. I spawned in a crimson forest, and the last thing in the world I want to deal with is a hoglin. Those things could own me in 1 second flat. So I grabbed my quartz, and I hustled right back home. Finally today, on to storage. I made a bunch of storage drawers and a drawer controller, and so I am ready to get kind of organized. Not super organized, not like the greatest ever, but look, at least my stuff isn't in just random chests all over the place. We are moving in the right direction here. It really took me a full couple days, but I did actually get all of my compacting drawers and my regular drawers all set up. All of my ores should have a home and where I can grab blocks or ingots or nuggets right out of it, as well as all the different stones, including both cobbled and smooth stone variants. Things are good. Unfortunately, I can't figure out a way to automate getting this lava in here, so just every once in a while I have to go and grab 8 buckets and put it in the smeltery just to continue doubling my ores, because now that I have a hammer, I am getting tons and tons and tons of ores. In fact, probably more than I'll ever need. I made something today that I have no idea how to use. The book told me to make a small block breaker, so I did it. I don't know what to do next. Is this a cobblestone generator? Is this break ores? I don't know. It's just a machine. It doesn't tell you anything about it. So I just made this machine and I threw it down the corner, and I don't think I ever looked at it again. I'd like to keep all of my blood magic stuff in the same general place, and since I have a room for my machines and a room for my storage, I may as well spend a day digging out a room for my future blood magic rituals so they're all kind of together. You know, I was just digging, and I just started thinking back to, well, this. Captain Dohan's plan was simple, in a very complicated way, I suppose. First, using my power, I would teleport us to Fred's planet. Somehow, this Fred was the son of the commander of the Armada. Captain Dohan called it an AI, for whatever that means. Teleporting this distance between me and Fred's planet would be incredibly draining for me, but once there, I believe I could bring Fred to us, and then all 3 of us to the planet Tovalin. Then, everything changed. Captain Dohan mentioned he was working with the Mage Council. My captors. I was enraged. How dare they? In just a blink, I imprisoned this Captain Dohan in my void and went back to tend my crops. I made a Hellfire Forge and decided I need a Tartaric Gem. Now this is a way to hold all my will, which I'll get from killing all these zombies. This is the next phase of blood magic, and after 40 days in this place, I think it's way overdue. But there are a couple ways to get will. First, I used a snare to get my first few, and then after that, I made a sentient sword. Now I can use the sentient sword now, but I really want to enchant it, and to enchant it, I need a couple more things. Well, I need an enchanting table. After digging up my room, I converted a bunch of granite into dirt, and I went about laying down a nice big dirt place. Now I took my 1 grass block, and I'm going to let the grass slowly spread, and just hope that somehow some cows make their way in here. If I can start breeding them up, I can start to get a lot of leather, and with that, I can actually make bookcases, so that would be great. After killing a lot of zombies and collecting a lot more will, I made a Petit Tartaric Gem today. This is the next level of gem and can actually hold a lot more will, so, well, after I make this, I'll head back over the zombies and kill a bunch more. This zombie spawner is not fast enough. It's okay, but I need it to speed up, and I'm not really sure how to go about doing that. I spent the entire day killing zombies and filling up both of my gems so that I can make, the next level of Tartaric Gem. Finally, after 2 days of grinding zombies, I got the 240 will I need to make the next level of Tartaric Gem. I am in business. Yeah, it finally occurred to me that I don't need to wait for cows to spawn in my grass room. I can actually make leather using my blood magic alchemy table. So I did that, and then after that, I took my one book that I made so far, and I made an enchanting table. Oh, we're getting close. And after all that work, the common Tartaric gem is mine. Yes, this is amazing. Now, I can actually start to make some real improvements. Now, with access to lots of leather, I actually made all of the bookcases that I need, so I can now enchant my sentient sword. I think I'll make a new one, though, so it has full durability. And yeah, we're going to get a nice enchant here, and I'm going to go kill just so many zombies. I learned something about the unique mechanics of this world today, though. I learned that whenever I break stone, I am getting all cobbled variants, like cobbled diorite and cobbled granite and all that stuff, which is why I have to smelt it just to get dirt. But I can make a silk touch upgrade for my hammer, and then I will get regular granite and regular diorite and all that stuff with regular andesite, which is actually going to make crafting a lot easier. So I did that today, and now I have a silk touch hammer. Hooray. Yeah, and next, it's back to the grind because I need ritual stones and I need a lot of them. I'm going to need 36 tier 1 slates and 36 tier 2 slates. I'm going to be here for a while. There's something that's bugging me in the back of my mind. I believe there's a way to automate this slate making procedure. So I went to my Hellfire Forge and I was able to make routing nodes. Now, I think these routing nodes are basically like pipes that use blood magic to move items in and out, and I think they can move stone and slates in and out of the blood altar. To do this, though, I'm going to need some red dye, and, well, fortunately, my grass is spread. No animals, but hey, I got some red dye, so that's a win. I made some routing nodes and some standard item filters, and yeah, nothing worked. Nothing worked at all. I'm going to have to spend the night reading this blood magic book. Another day, another complete day of just trial and error. One thing I realized I needed is a node router. It's kind of like a connector that I can connect these nodes together, and you sort of see the lines go, and that's going to tell me where they're connected and all. But yeah, it doesn't matter. None of this worked. Nothing works at all. I was getting very frustrated at this point. All this time that I'm messing around with these stupid nodes that don't work, I'm just doing the slates by hand manually, and that's fine. I decided to spend one more day trying to get it to work, and I did, kind of. I got it to actually place the stone in the altar, but I could not manage to get it to take the slates out of the altar. I don't know. I looked at every setting 1,000 times, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I finally, though, after, 4 days of this, got all the ritual stones I need to leave this place, albeit temporarily. There's a blood magic dungeon that I've only heard about in stories. I'm hoping I can access it from here and bring its loot back. It might have some really nice stuff. But to even do that, I needed the next level of blood orb, the magician's blood orb, and fortunately, I have a decent amount of zombies and a decent amount of runes of sacrifice so I could get it. I did it! I completed the ritual to another world. This thing is going to be amazing. I was going to activate it, but I realized that I don't have anywhere near the LP in my network to actually do that. So, yeah, let's go kill some more zombies. I took my weak activation crystal and a whole bunch of LP that I got by working through the night, and I activated the crystal. Oh, yes, it is time to go to this dimension. I successfully looted the first room, didn't die. There are actually no monsters there, but I got something that I really needed. I got some tau fruit. So the first thing I did is I made a cow bait, and I got a cow to come down to my little grassy area, and then I planted my tau fruit where the cow is standing. Now, this is a little weird. If you plant tau fruit just in the ground, you'll get more tau fruit when you harvest it. But if you plant it in the ground under a living creature like a cow, you might get saturated tau fruit, and that That is what I really need. It works! I got my routing nodes to work. I took a couple days away and I went and I thought about it. And when I came back, I changed the settings. And surely enough, I have a fully automated slate machine. Now, unfortunately, it's not automated where I'm getting more blood. I still have to go kill all the stuff, but it actually works. It actually works. I am so happy. I'm so happy right now. Now, unfortunately, I still have to babysit the system. Like I say, not only do I have to kill the zombies, but I actually have to be close to the spawner so that it keeps spawning zombies additionally. It was really making me crazy. I'm just really happy about it. So I took the day and the automation opportunity to make a big handful of reinforced slates, and I actually made 10 more runes of sacrifice. That's going to give me more juice per zombie that I kill. That's big bang for my buck improvement. I had an idea about this zombie spawner. It does seem that you can actually improve it. And I thought, well, what's going to make it spawn faster? Maybe clocks. So I took and I made 16 and then later on another 16 clocks, and I just clicked on it. It did seem to do something, but I don't know what. It wasn't a noticeable improvement anyway, but I did put 32 clocks onto the spawner. And yeah, I didn't really notice any impact at all, actually. Not even a little bit. I kept Captain Dohan in prison for years. No time would pass for him, but learning that the council still existed after all these years was way too much for my newfound serenity to handle. They will die. The fire, the rage, it was all back, perhaps even stronger than before. I sent myself into the void. I needed to learn more. I asked the captain to take me back through the portal he used to get to me. He explained it would kill me, something about he was a Generation 1, someone the singularity had actually transformed, and thus he could travel through, but anyone else would die. I'm quite sure he could sense the change in me, my thirst for revenge. Quietly, the captain told me he would only show me where Tovalin is after I had brought Fred to us. There was much to think about. You know, I think I screwed this up somehow. I really only need saturated tau fruit, and to get that it has to grow near my cow. However, I think I planted it just too far away from me where I'm actually working by the blood altar. I may need to actually do something in this close area just so it grows, because I'm having no luck on getting some growth stages at all. Well, I think it's time to start some Botania while I wait. I want to stay very close to this cow, and, you know, my old apprentice was a real master of Botania, and I picked up a few things living in his old world. I think I can probably figure out some stuff that will help me progress further in my dark arts obsession, and, yeah, there's some good stuff. First, I gotta make these flowers, though. I added some storage drawers in my Botania area just to help keep me organized. All these flowers do tend to add up, and the nice thing is I can make 2x2 storage drawers and see all the different flower options that I want. I don't know how deeply I'm going to get into this, but there's a couple things I have in mind that would be kind of nice. I've been working here for 2 days on gathering Botania supplies, and I still don't have a fully grown tau fruit, and it doesn't appear to be saturated at all yet. Wah, wah. Hey, check it out! My tau fruit grew, and it wasn't saturated. It was just a regular freaking tau fruit. Well, boo for that. Yeah, I'm going to plant a couple more, maybe do like a little 2x2 plot so I have more chances. But the other thing is my cow's almost dead. It does draw life from it, whether it gets saturated or not. So I'm going to need to make a little bit more wheat cow bait trap things, whatever. You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, I just need a couple machine parts, though, and to do it, I need 2 more iron plates, and to do that means I need to hook up my presser. I was kind of hoping I was done with this sort of aspect of this world, to be totally honest. I thought I had maybe converted fully into magic, but I hadn't. The problem is when I hooked up my presser, it overstressed the cogs, and it wouldn't work. So what I have to do basically is unhook one of my wheels and then just hook this up temporarily, or maybe add more wind power. I don't really know. I don't really care, to be honest. I just want to make these 2 plates and move on with my life. I did in fact get more cows to spawn, and I'm still waiting on more of this tau fruit. It really is awful. It's just awful. I'm just gonna sleep here. I quite honestly spent an entire day just reading my blood magic book and waiting and still having no luck. I got another tau fruit thing to grow to 100%, and again, it was not saturated, so I'm going to try basically one more time and just see how it goes. I'm looking around the base, and I got to be honest, it looks terrible, but I don't care. I'm leaving this place. The second I am powerful enough to bring Fred to me, we are going to put him in the Void World, and I'm going to teleport all of us to this planet Tovlin and end things with the Mage Council. But until then, well, yeah, I'm waiting for saturated tau fruit. And would you look at that? After almost unlimited days and a few more cows dying, I got a saturated tau fruit. Finally. This is going to be huge in crafting and allow me to actually progress to sort of endgame blood magic. This saturated tau fruit is still at its second to last growth stage, and I need to wait. Time has officially stopped. And on day 69, the beautiful flower burst forth and created something magical, something pulsing with... Yeah, what? Hello? Okay, I will admit that is some creepy stuff that is going on here in my base. I don't know what that's all about, but I would like to leave soon, so it's time to progress a little further in blood magic. I need a weak blood shard, and to do that, I have to make this machine called an alchemical reaction chamber. Unfortunately, I don't really know how this works. I dropped my magician's blood orb in, and it started working. I thought, that's cool, and it's not cool. It actually reconverted it back into its original block of gold. So yeah, so now I get to spend a day making another magician's blood orb. That's fun. And after I made that, I learned how this machine actually does work, and I got my 2 weak blood shards. This is great. It's 1 guaranteed and a % chance to get a second one, so I was pretty lucky there. Awesome. I decided that it's time to start digging for a maximum tier altar. That's a tier 4 altar. And to do that, I need a lot of runes. I spent yesterday and last night making a ton of blank slates, and I think I am just about ready. I was just digging around, ready to make my tier 4 altar, and all of a sudden zombies started coming from everywhere. I'm not sure if they escaped out of the chamber or if they were spawning because it was a little dark. Either way, luckily I saw them, because if I wasn't paying attention, that amount of zombies and me with basically no armor, they could have ended me quickly. It must be spawning, because even then, even the next day, as I was working again, a ton of zombies, including some babies, and these guys are fast, came out from everywhere. Luckily, I could pillar straight up. My sword was broken, so I had to kill them with my pickaxe. And yeah, not a great way to deal with this, but I finally did. It was a little scary. It was a little scary, to be honest. I need to turn off the spawner. I don't know why I haven't thought of that yet. But then finally, it happened. I got my tier 4 altar all set up. I needed these weak blood shards for the caps on the pillars, and I am ready. Now with the tier 4 altar, I can do something that is very cool. I can automate the collection of blood. Yes. Now, by just using a couple blocks of coal and some blood from my altar, I am able to upgrade my Ritual Diviner to a Dusk Ritual Diviner. And with this, I will be able to make the Ritual of Well of Suffering. And with that, I can fully automate my blood power. And once that happens, it's only a matter of time until I can bring Fred to us, and I can get my sweet, sweet revenge. With my automated slate system, I was able to make 36 more ritual stones and a master ritual stone, and I am all set. The only thing I need space. I'm going to have to move my altar around. I don't believe that I can move the spawner, so yeah, I'll have to move my altar around. So I want to make sure I get everything I need while it's fully functional, because once I move it, I won't be able to get any more blood altar crafting until I reposition it all. I made a terrible mistake and just got lucky. I was digging out space with my hammer, and I accidentally hit the spawner and I broke it. Luckily, the hammer silk touch, and luckily I could re-put the spawner back down. So the spawner is indeed movable, which means I can leave my altar where it was. I made the ritual above, and I am ready to activate it. Every hostile creature in this area will start to die as soon as I get ready. But to do that, I need a lower spawning platform. I want the mobs to spawn underneath me, so luckily now I can move my spawner so I can position it to be directly under the altar. So yeah, I gotta dig again. I activated the ritual and went to go look and see, and yeah, I made another mistake. Unfortunately, the spawning platform down below is a little bit too low for the mobs to die. So I needed to raise it up by a block. Not a big deal, but kind of a pain in the butt. Oh, and would you look at this? It works. I brought the platform one block, and these guys are taking damage. Every time they turn red, that means I am leeching from them and putting blood into my LP system. I have my blood orb on the altar, so it's just getting completely full, and I am so excited. I stood here and watched this thing work for a long time, and while I was here, I was thinking back to, well, a conversation I had with Captain Dohan. Bringing Captain Dohan with me, trapped in the void, was simple enough. I visited him many times over my 100 days in this new place, this stone planet. All the while, the captain continued to fill me in on the state of the universe. Actually, to be honest, it was hard for me to even grasp. Even a powerful Master Mage who was hundreds of years old. How could the Mage Council manage to have lived as long as I? I don't know. Perhaps it's their descendants. Perhaps it doesn't matter who it is. I'll kill them regardless. The Mage Council, whoever it is in those seats, will pay. Over time, I actually grew to like this man. He had only learned how the universe came to be in the days before coming to see me. Eventually, I explained to him the void was only active when I was visiting him, and the rest of the time he spent in suspended animation. James was quite upset upon learning that I kept him in a freeze for years. He told me the Armada was headed towards Tovlin, towards his people, the crew of his ship, the Black Goat, but also it was headed towards the Mage Council. A plan began to formulate in my mind. I'm stepping into some things that, even at my peak of blood magic in my prior life, I never delved into. Today I made a machine called a demon crystallizer. I think this could be of some use bringing Fred to me, but I'm not sure. It surely was expensive. I'll have to start replenishing my will very soon. Fortunately, I'm out to a nice lead on Slate, so I was able to make enough ritual stones to do this next ritual that I need. This ritual is called the Resonance of the Faceted Crystal, and I have absolutely no idea what it's supposed to do. I need to spend some serious time reading and studying my book. I think I'm too short on will to do this next step, so I spent the entire day killing zombies with my sentient sword and filling my tier 3 common tartaric gem. I hope 1,000 will is enough to get this next part started, but I'm not really sure. Again, I am in really uncharted territory for myself. I activated the ritual and actually managed to get a couple crystals, but not nearly as many as I need. So I need the maximum tier tartaric gem, and to do that I need to basically ramp up from the very smallest to the biggest, because it takes a tier 4 to make a tier 5, and you need a tier 5 to have enough will. You need a lot of will anyway. It took one of my demon crystals, but surely enough, I ended up getting it. I got the greater tartaric gem. This is the biggest one. This is going to take me a long time to fill up, but at least I have it and I can start the process. I noticed a problem, a potentially kind of big problem. I cross chunks, and this gets a little bit technical here, but all of your aura, whenever you crystallize your aura, it stays within one chunk. My ritual crosses chunks, which means I'm not sure which chunk it will go into. So basically, I spent the day digging out and preparing a room that is exactly one chunk big, so all of my aura will stay within that chunk, and then I can crystallize it from there. Again, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of going by the seat of my pants here. I have another problem. I dumped a few stacks of smoothstone into my blood altar and notice it is not quite keeping up even when I'm in range of the spawner. So thus, it's time to upgrade. I've done really nothing of the 28 runes from my tier 4 upgrade. They're all blank, so I think I need the materials for all 28 to be runes of sacrifice. Fortunately, again, I have lots of slates. I can do it, but it's going to basically run me out of materials. I think this will make it keep up for any amount of crafting that I really want to do, though. And just like that, I used up all of my reinforced slates, but it worked. I have runes of sacrifice, the entire 28 exterior runes, and I should be good now to craft as much as I want. I can automate this as long as I'm standing close enough for the spawner for it to be active. I took the opportunity of, while I'm waiting for all this crafting to happen, to just kind of run around the base and pick up my ore and crap that's spread out everywhere and process it. I have enough ore for probably about a city made out of gold and bronze and stuff, but for right now, I don't really need any of it. But, you know, I got nothing else to do while I wait. I want to do more stuff, but I'm out of will again. So yeah, back to the will grind. I mean, look, it's easy. It's just time consuming. It just takes a really long time to fill these up. A really long time, like literally 2 days it took to fill up this one gem of just constantly grinding. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I'm getting lots of returns for it, so that's good. But yeah, lots of time. I had some success, though. I took my mostly full Greater Tartaric Gem and put it in the Demon Crystallizer, and crystals started springing up. Now, I need to have at least, I think, one of each kind, so I can just grab these with my Silk Touch pickaxe and pick them up, I think. Well, maybe Silk Touch doesn't matter, but regardless, I can pick them up. So this is good. This is a good first step of this sort of last ritual that I want to do. Bringing Fred to me is going to draw a lot of power from these crystals, so I'm going to need quite a few. So, with that, I made 9 Demon Crystallizers and put them in one Demon Crucible in a different chunk than my main setup. This should put a ton of will into the air for my 9 Crystallizers and should make a lot of baseline crystals, which I can draw power from for sort of my final portal. I really hope this works, but I'm starting to get a good feeling it will. While trying to make some demon slates, which is the tier 4 slates, I just realized that I just need a second Tartaric Gem of the big one, the greater kind. I need one to be running on my big main crystal area where I'm getting all the different kinds of crystals, and I'm going to need one to do sort of the baseline crystals. So yeah, I spent the day going through the whole thing again just to get a second greater Tartaric Gem that I can maybe grind one while one's working and do whatever I want. But yeah, back in together more will. Hooray! I had my first very, very close call on day 92. A creeper must have spawned somewhere. That's all I can think it was, unless it was some other random explosion. But I was just digging out this. I want to dig it down about 23 blocks for this big ritual setup that I want to do. And I almost got blown up. It was really close. I mean, I did get blown up. I just didn't die, fortunately. Or, well, I guess that'd be the end. So yeah, I'm digging out a one chunk hole down about 23 blocks where I can put 3 or 4 rituals all on top of each other, and I think it should work out nicely. I have the sketch of the rituals that I want to do, and to do that, I need 42 more ritual stones, which require lots of slates. It's going to be great, but yeah, it's going to take some time to grind. I keep doing it. I keep moving away from the spawner, darn it, and it just stops being active, and then I start not getting enough blood to make this. This thing is fully automated, and it's going to go great, but I just need to stand here. So I'm just going to stand here and study my book and look into sort of my final ritual a little bit more for an entire day while I craft about 3 stacks of slates. I achieved something today that will be very, very important in the future. I got both sets of living armor, the helm and chest and the legs and the boots. I am now completely, fully living armor equipped. It's going to be very difficult for the Mage Council to defeat me at this point. I just need to get there. Well, I realized today that I made a terrible, terrible mistake. I could have sworn in my youth, back when I was first delving into the dark arcane arts, that there was a way to automate will production, but it seems now that is not possible. So that being said, I need to alter my plans on how to bring Fred here. I need a lot of crystals, and I need a way to get them quickly. I took all of my newly crafted ritual stones, and I did the 2 main rituals that I need in order to pull this off. I harvested all my crystals, only to realize that I need 1,200 will to combine them into placeable crystals on the ground. Well, back to the grind just a little bit, but I am so close. I can feel it. My full blood magic power is almost returned to me. My rage at the council grows ever stronger. It is done. After 99 days in this place, I have managed to regain all of my lost blood magic abilities, and from the ritual that will grow to harvest these crystals, everything is ready now. The crystals are growing and I can feel their power coursing through my body. Now, I just need to wait. The crystals will do the work for me, and in time, they will open a portal to bring this Fred person to me. My time is at hand. Finally, the moment, my moment, was at hand. I brought Fred through and into the void. For me to teleport the enormous distance to Tovlin, it will require them both to be in the void. I assured them I would free them both after we arrive. And I would free them. But first, I had other plans. I opened up 3 small portals in the void, not big enough to pass through, but big enough to talk.
Finally!
Theo, stop. He's here in time. The Armada is not yet to us.
Edwin, thank you for helping. After all we did.
After all you did. Yes. Edwin. You know, I almost forgot my name. It's been so very long since anyone called me that.
Why are you contacting us through the Void World? Come here at once! Do you have Fred and Captain Dohan?
Yes, they are here with me. How long until the Armada arrives?
Only hours. We'd nearly given up hope.
Hopelessness. Yes, I remember that. When I was banished on a world filled with terrible monsters for doing nothing but exploring some of the very dark arts that you hope will bring your Fred to you. I remember hopelessness when then you convinced my closest friend to betray me and imprison me in a cell no bigger than 5 paces wide.
Edwin, what are you doing? Take us back to Tovlin.
This Armada, is there any hope against it?
No, its power is too great. When Cal arrives with his fleet, the entire planet would be obliterated.
Obliterated? I only wish you would know hopelessness for as long as I have, but a few hours will have to do. For many years, I thought I would be the one to lay waste to this council, but this technology may be worth something after all. Goodbye.
No! Edwin, my people! They're on the moon of Tovlin. Cal will certainly destroy it as well.
We will stop Cal. I have no desire to see all life in the universe wiped out. I did once, but my old apprentice showed me life is indeed precious. But I will not spare the Mage Council or their people.
My people, the crew on Apuro, they have nothing to do with the council. Please spare them.
There may be a way. I could use a spell I learned from Bob, actually. A variation of the exchange spell that saved me. Maybe.
You can save my crew? Please.
I can, but it's not... The spell will cast your crew individually, randomly throughout the entire universe. They will be placed on random planets, each alone, having no idea what happened and no hope of being rescued.
The alternative is death at the hands of the Armada.
So be it. And so that ends Phase 1 of the Unified Fixxiverse. Stick around for a post-credit scene after my thank you, coming up in just a few moments. I can't express how much joy I have taken in putting these videos and the story into place, and how excited I am for Phase 2. The end of Tovlin. Man, 210 episodes and countless live streams. I am sad to see that world end, but excited for the beginning of my next single-player world. We'll be following one of those blinked-out crew members in a whole new Minecraft world, this time hardcore style on Java. I'm really excited for what the possibilities can bring with adding in some quality of life mods and some things like that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I want to say a very, very extra special thank you to my voice cast today, which was a lot of my good friends, the Mage Council, Python, Looney, and Brooke. Thank you so much. My Captain Dohan, which, has been me in the other videos, but I thought it was kind of weird to have me talk to me as the mage. So I asked my good friend, somebody to remember to come in and voice Captain Dohan. And then coming up in the post-credits scene, for the last time, are Dr. Landon, who has been a major player in my single-player world of Tovlin for Chaos. Thank you so much, Chaos, for doing all the voice work that you've done. Really appreciate it. Also, I want to say a special thank you to I Sulfur and EC2727 for coming in and helping me do some of the 3-person shots. I don't have 3 Java accounts, so that was a little bit tricky, and thank you guys for helping out on that. Coming up on the channel, I have a lot of things I think you're really going to love. We have Imperial SMP, where I am building the mother of all mega bases. I think that's a lot of fun. I have the beginning of Deceit SMP, and that's featuring Lagundo, Tanisha, Brock, Looney, Payne, a lot of people. You're going to love it so much. It's so great. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, because I have another series that isn't quite ready to announce yet, but it features some of your very favorite content creators, and it's coming to the channel very soon. And lastly, in just a few days, episode 1 of my brand new single-player hardcore world, playing in the latest snapshot. I'm going to kind of wait until the new snapshot comes out to make sure World Gen is ready, and then we're going to get started. It's going to be a lot of fun. Guys, I have so much coming to the channel. Also, Phase 2 of the Fixxiverse. Oh, man. I mean, it's going to be great. So hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Lastly, I want to say a very special thank you to all of my patrons and YouTube members. I love you guys so much. You do everything for me, and I am so appreciative for all the support you give me over the years. It's just amazing. It means a lot to me. All right, let's get on with it, and let's check out the post-credit scene, and I will see you next episode from Phase 2 of the Fixxiverse, coming soon.
Landon to Apuro Command. Come in. Apuro Command. Is anyone there? Tracy, come in.
Yes, Dr. Landon.
Why isn't anyone in communications answering? Where is everyone?
Apuro base has been abandoned, Dr. Landon.
What? What do you mean abandoned? Where did they go?
Unknown. The crew of the Black Goat simply disappeared. Dr. Landon, I'm detecting many incoming ships at very high speeds.
A fleet?
An armada.
Hey, Edwin, are you okay?
He's breathing very rough.
Did the spell work? Did he save your crew?
I think so.
So, what do we do now?